Hello and welcome once again to my weekly presentation. My name is Andrew Goodwin and I am the Managing Director, co-founder of Truly Independent and the author of The Happy Financial Advisor. These short presentations will include content from the book and we'll be focusing on how to connect with more clients, how to enjoy more freedom and to make a positive difference in the lives of others. The aim is also to look at book content that's not in the book, which is designed to motivate you, to inform you, and hopefully to stimulate the grey matter. Today, I'm going to talk to you about unitisation. Unitisation is best described as the deliberate development of an IFA's own products to combat the rising cost of regulation and to offset the potential loss of ongoing fees by creating a secondary income stream. Now, this is an idea that a lot of companies have had for a number of years, creating their own discretionary fund manager, maybe their own platform. But as time is going by, and with this word that just came across my desk a couple of weeks ago, I recognize now that this is more of a movement rather than just an idea. Before we look at unitisation in any great detail, let's have a look at the threats to your income. Advisor numbers will reduce in the next decade. There are more advisors retiring than are joining the industry. This means there are fewer advisors to pay the regulatory fees that keep this industry flowing. That naturally means that these regulatory fees and costs will go up. They will increase, as will the levies. The insurance costs will also increase, simply because the Financial Ombudsman Service is upholding more complaints than they've ever done before. And there are fewer insurers out there who want to be involved in this business. So naturally, their costs will go up. Margins are being squeezed. There's also competition from direct alternatives. As people start to recognize that they can deal with people directly through video conferencing, then that drives the costs down. There's no longer the requirement to travel up and down the country. It's all done direct through the internet. So that's a cost problem. And also firms like us will create their own products. So competition will increase. Mergers and takeovers will affect agencies. That puts a lot of pressure on the agency communication and administration. And of course, the FCA have already indicated that they're after your ongoing advice. Certainly, ongoing advice fees over 0.5% are under threat. So we have to take heed of this. We have to recognize that there is a change coming, and it's coming hard, it's coming fast, and we have to be prepared. Those people who prepared for RDR went through it no problem. Those people who have the technical ability to run the firms as we went into COVID have had no problems. Let's not miss this opportunity to get our income, our secondary income right. This is the time we must make movements towards it. Let us consider first of all how IFAs get paid. Most IFAs value their business and are paid through the fees generated from investment or pension advice. The initial advice would be given and there would be a larger fee applied for that, usually as a percentage. The ongoing advice or ongoing support at Truly Independent would be a regular ongoing fee, again associated with the client's investment, maybe a lower charge of around about 0.5%. Some firms charge hourly rates for other work which may attract VAT. But on the whole, IFA fees are determined by the client's assets under advice, AUA, and therefore it is a percentage of the assets and benefited from any growth as an incentive. If we compare that to how the fund manager gets paid, of course you're passing the investment once the advice is given onto a fund manager. The fund manager handles the client's assets and makes money from the fund management charges. They don't make their money as an association to the investment. They actually make money from the investment, the actual assets. So therefore, the fund manager's fees are determined by the assets under management. Also, as a percentage of the asset initially maybe, and benefited from any growth as an incentive. But here's the thing, where is the value? Consider the IFA. They give all the advice, and with that, they take all the risk. And when you think about it, all they have is the relationship with the client. As long as the relationship stays strong, then their income stays strong. If they lose the relationship, they lose the income. And of course, the IFA will recommend a platform in most cases. The platform is software. It's somewhere for the clients to get their valuations from their investments. And of course, that platform, they've given no advice. Therefore, they have absolutely no risk. And they have no relationship with the client either. But they do get value. They charge for their services against the client's income or the client's investment. The money is also passed to a fund manager because the platform itself doesn't do anything without a fund manager or a fund or a portfolio of funds. Again, like the platform, there's no advice given by the fund manager. Therefore, they have no risk. But they do have all the value. Quite often, an IFA may lose a client, or a client decides to move to another IFA, but they very rarely change their fund manager. So this is important. An IFA has just relationship value where the fund manager is actually earning from the client's assets. Consider this flowchart of assets under advice versus assets under management. A client comes with £100,000 investment. They're seeking advice on that. The advice is given, and the advisor charges their fee, let's say 3%, of the assets under advice. That charge would be £3,000, and the client either pays it out of their bank account or it can be deducted from the investment. They may also charge an ongoing advice fee or an ongoing support fee, usually smaller, of about 0.5%. The total combined 100% income to the IFA comes through this method. Of course, the advice is usually to invest in a third-party product, somebody else's platform, somebody else's funds, and that actual asset is invested for the client by the fund manager, and they charge a fee against the asset under management. That management fee stays with the management company. But what if the IFA themselves actually owned the product? It is possible, therefore, for the management fee, to stay within the product and therefore to be paid back to the IFA. This means that in this particular model, the IFA is making a charge against the assets under advice and also earning from assets under management. So the future of fee income is changing. A percentage fee income from assets under advice will continue, but at a much lower rate. Regulation will limit ongoing fees. We know that, we're pretty certain about that. Clients will also expect a lower charge as competition increases from online direct investment competitors. And therefore, the bread and butter business, the ISAs, the regular ISAs, the pension, the regular pension, that make up 90% of what we do as independents, is under threat to deliver the same income we've always had. But if IFAs own their own product and own their own platform, they'll be able to offset the percentage loss from asset under advice income with assets under management income. effectively growing a second income stream to replace the reducing initial or early fee generated from advice only. The clients will benefit, the advisors will benefit too. This is unitisation. So let's have a look at Truly Independent and our new model. So there is an advice process. Like everyone's advice process, gather the information, do the research, and prepare your recommendations. And for the majority of the business, you'll be placing that on an external platform. You will use external funds and or you'll use external discretionary fund managers. And the average retention of fees that the advisor charges is around 80%. This is typical from any network, from any national IFA, or even when they consider the administration costs from a directly authorized company. However, if you are able to operate an internal platform, a platform that is owned and run by the IFA, and they had their own funds that they could invest in, owned and run by the IFA, and possibly their own discretionary fund management, generating managed portfolios, owned and run by the IFA, then there would be a lesser need to charge the individual financial advisor any more than 5%. They could retain 90% to 95% of their fees without too much of a problem. And in fact, it does not mean that you are removing access to external funds and access to external DFMs. The platform that Truly Independent operate, called Vero, will have access to over 3,200 external funds and 5 or 6 external DFMs. So you're still providing a broad range, whole of the market model to the clients. This slide tells me that we've reached the end of that short presentation. I will have another presentation next week. The topic will be independence. So please join me and join us on our journey. Thank you. For more information, please go to thehappyfinancialadvisors.co.uk, subscribe to YouTube, Truly IFA, or of course you can buy the book directly from Amazon.